I'm Heather.
And I'm David
from ZenRoseGarden.com,
home of Zen Ed Academy. Now, we do have a quick offer at the end for those of you that want more,
as well as some free stuff, just to say thank you for hanging out with us.
So stick around for all of that coming up in just a moment. Now, it is time to play the emoji game. For those of you who already know how to play, get ready. For everyone else, this is how it goes down. Here is how we play. As we go through the tip of the day, or tips, there may be more than one, you pick the emoji that you think fits best, and we will pick our favorite at the end and pull a card for the winner.
But let's talk about today's topic. It was a request from a student of ours that wanted to know the difference between oracle cards and tarot cards. Like, is there a huge difference? And this might seem simple to some of you who've been reading tarot and oracle cards for a long time, but sometimes it's not so simple to the beginner who's just on their spiritual journey and wants to know what the difference is.
So what is the difference between tarot cards and oracle cards?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you. Tarot is a traditionally structured deck, okay, with 600 years of tradition behind it, scholarship and philosophy that all have gone into this deck that we call tarot of 78 cards.
And there are rules. There are rules. And there are also rules on how to break the rules.
Right.
Right?
That's the important part about tarot. When you know the rules on how to break the rules, it gets infinitely more fun. But you got to learn the rules first. So there are rules, and there are rules on how to break the rules. But it takes years to master them.
Yep.
Even though you can jump right in as soon as you open your first pack and start reading it.
Yep.
And that's the joy of tarot. But you have to be not intimidated by tarot, because a lot of people are just plain intimidated by it.
Yeah.
Thus comes oracle cards.
And oracle cards are free flowing. They don't really have any rules that you need to learn. They're kind of the appetizer platter, the hors d'oeuvres. They're not the full course.
Right.
There is no set numbers of cards in the deck, even though anybody who wants to create an oracle deck can do it, because there's no real rules that you've got to break, no rules to follow, just no rules. It's kind of open, free flow, and no set number of cards in the deck. They can be themed around anything. Anything. If you want a flower deck, you make a flower oracle deck. If you want animals, you make animals. If you want pizza.
I find them to be mostly about love and power, to be honest. So you've got, the Goddess deck by Doreen Virtue. You've got, the Life Purpose deck, which is also really popular. And you got the Ascended Masters deck. But the thing about oracle cards is you can pull one card and the entire story is in the card, right? So they're simple, they're accessible, they're visual, they're easy to digest. Just like back in the day before everybody read, you go into a church, a cathedral, and you see a painting, and that painting conveys the entire story to you. Lost our connection to those symbols over time, which is why sometimes symbol languages seem so mysterious to us in our day. But back before everybody read, people would go into a cathedral and look at a painting just like this and understand all the symbology, the story would just be digestible and easy. So I kind of think of oracle cards as paintings in a museum where there's a story in each card, and they're one by one. It can speak to your heart all by itself. So even though there are all sorts of themes for different tarot decks, because you will go and you will see so many different themes for tarot decks out there, a million themes. The rules in the structure of tarot is the same, nevertheless, underneath each deck. Some people don't study the symbology quite as well as some. I've seen some decks that are really terrible because the author of the deck, the painter, didn't really understand the symbology behind the deck. Tarot has a traditional structure to the deck and common meanings, even though the decks might look different. But once you learn tarot traditionally, and you study and you commit to your craft, you can read any deck, pick up any deck and go, I get it. They didn't really get what that card was about, but I can read it according to either how the author intended it or traditionally. So that's like the joy of learning tarot that takes years to master and study. But when you study, you don't have to learn each new deck. And this is what a lot of our students will ask us is, I haven't learned this new tarot deck I got this new, whatever tarot deck, and I have to learn this new deck. I know this deck, but now I have to learn this deck. No, you don't. You have to learn the traditional tarot, which comes from the French and the English traditions mostly.
Right.
But there's a set thing. So once you learn the tarot traditionally, you can read any deck.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the great thing. Everybody gets overwhelmed by learning tarot, feeling that it's got to be this huge, big thing. And then they have to learn each deck separately, each deck individually. No, tarot has the rules. It's got its standard structure that has been around for, like Heather said, over 600 years of tradition currently.
Yeah. So you can pick up any deck and read it once you learn the craft of tarot, the base of it. But that takes dedication to your craft. Oracle cards, however, are kind of a fun stopgap in between. So while Oracle cards, like these Doreen Virtue ones before she went off the
rails,
when she fell off the ladder, bumped her head. So while
crazy train,
so while Oracle cards give insight into the greater sense of what is going on. Like you can pick a card and it just gives you all of that information for your life in one card, right? It's like, oh, I get it. I feel it. I'm just picking this card for the day.
Quick snapshot.
But tarot cards can provide more details.
And there's a bonus. We're going to give you one easy trick to use tarot and oracle cards together. One trick. These are going to be bookends.
Okay. So say you're giving a tarot card, and you can do this regardless of who the client is. It's kind of fun. Let's say that you are giving a tarot card reading to a client who's kind of new to this. They're a little bit nervous. What you can do is take an oracle card deck, and you can even have them pick one out of your collection of oracle card decks, because I know you guys have like a billion and one like me, because you're addicted to these things. I'm going to choose these two. I'm going to intentionally choose these two. You can have the client pull an oracle card from your little oracle card deck to open the energy of the tarot card reading at the beginning. So let's say that they pull this one. I believe that's an Archangel Michael, or Raphael, looks by the green wing, but the card is protected. Right? It has a little message, has a little affirmation or something pleasant. So it helps them feel protected. So you open up the session with a positive, almost kind of a blessing, like an opening prayer. And that can help a new client who's not familiar with tarot sort of move into the tarot, because sometimes tarot
can be a little scary.
So, well, I was going to say sometimes, but tarot doesn't play.
Right.
It tells you a lot of details you may not want to hear.
Hashtag called out.
In between. So
the bookends of opening a session and closing a session, a tarot reading, for example.
Right. So you might, at the end, after you've given them all the hardcore tarot stuff, you're going to tell them, you might have them pull another card. And this one is energy healing. So you may say, okay, so this card you pulled is energy healing. You might want to explore a Reiki session or a chakra balancing session. Or
I love how these cards just kind of swoop in, give you the little bite-sized platter like Heather was talking about. So the opening was protected, right? And the message says you are safe and supported while you change your career. Okay. And then after the reading, say after we do the tarot reading, you've got energy healing, which is basically, okay, that's cool. The message itself says your natural energy healing abilities are an important part of your life purpose. So that right there sums up a particular reading. For me, this reading is like, okay, I'm thinking about changing careers. I'm thinking about moving into something different. There's a lot of people shifting jobs, shifting careers, shifting what they want to do in life. Got a bunch of Zen heads here. Let the world know what your favorite thing is about Zen Academy. And Nima says, over the moon, I get to learn tarot with the Zen Rose crew. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love everything that's going on in Zen Academy. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. Oracle decks are more accessible for more people, okay? So especially for newbie clients. So this opening and closing setup is really easy to incorporate an Oracle deck to kind of make it easier to have people dip their toe to the water and go, okay, maybe I want a reading, but I'm a little scared.
Right?
Little too much. I don't know what this person's going to know about me, which is probably a video for another time.
Yeah, when clients think that you see all their things, right? Okay, so but Oracle decks are more accessible for more people. That's the point. They are safe, they're pretty, they're uplifting, they're not scary, especially for people who are not ready for deeper shadow work and not ready to face some of their deeper stuff. Because let's face it, whenever any of us goes on the spiritual path for the first time, we're just trying to figure out love, money, career, why am I anxious? Some really surface stuff that has some deeper roots. And this is not a bad thing.
Right.
This is just part of the path.
Right.
But oracle cards give your client, or you for that matter, the opportunity to participate in your own personal and spiritual development and healing. And that's the important part that you're shifting into when you go from the traditional Western medicine, type theory into the Eastern sort of client self-directed. You're self-directing your own spiritual path instead of relying on the institution of religion or medicine to guide your path. So, but there's a shift that happens with the spiritual path. You got to shift that mindset from the practitioner heals me, fixes me, tells me what to do,
into I'm empowered and I'm doing this myself.
Into I'm responsible for my own path, which is why oracle cards are so nice for the beginner who's making that mind shift, because it gives them the opportunity to participate in their own personal development.
Yes, and that's the power right there, is realizing that you are the creator of your own experience. And as such, you get to rewrite any of those old programs on the self-growth tip.
And that's the thing, is that they're easily digestible, especially for a client that is working through any old religious fears that surround tarot.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of the old religious fears came to be because people that pursue their own spiritual path and are guided through their own connection to the divine are dangerous people to institutions of the past. When business was business and religion were kind of one thing. The old church in the Middle Ages, when tarot came to be, or the medieval period, was a business. And so a lot of income was reliant on that. And you mix those two together and it's a clusterfuck, right? So of course you've got a lot of negativity that still is existing from that is kind of religious based. So
And Medium Star has a question, says, I'm looking for another great oracle deck. Any suggestions? So I want you guys to drop your favorite oracle deck in the comments and let Medium Star know what your favorite oracle deck is. For me personally, I love the Goddess Guidance one, the Ascended Masters, basically all the ones that Heather pulled out, and the Life Purpose ones. Those are all three some of my favorites from Doreen Virtue before she went off
she fell off a ladder and bumped her head.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
That wagon.
She went back into the religious fear closet. So
Alana Fair has Fairhams has really beautiful decks. I have the Rumi Oracle deck. Alana Fairchild. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm like,
Rumi is gorgeous.
The Rumi deck is amazing.
Any of Rumi, if there's any picture with a Rumi poem on it or saying, I'm all about it.
And Genevieve says Zen Rose Academy rocks. It's Zen Ed Academy, but that is also kind of a combination of Zen Rose Garden. And
that's why this is rocking.
I'm
totally getting my signals mixed.
Yes. Best instructors and awesome tribe. Medium Star says you guys are fun, positive, and make these teachings fun.
I like to hear that. Love it.
And the Dark Mirror deck. All right, those are some really, really great suggestions. Medium Star, I hope that helps you out. Hopefully some of these are new for you and you can go and play them. That's also a thing. Collecting decks can become an addiction. Not saying it's a bad addiction, but you go down the rabbit hole of, ooh, cool new thing. Ooh, nice shiny. Ooh, what does everybody else got? It's kind of a thing that happens,
that's
right?
Fun, right? So
yes,
I think my point is that when you're moving from one system of a religious or spiritual experience to another, the oracle cards give you a really good safety net, training wheels into deeper work, because you're moving from a culture that has existed for hundreds of years where you're told what to do on your spiritual path, whether that is right or wrong. It's right or wrong according to the person that's telling you that is in charge, no matter how corrupt, reverse hierophant they are.
Right.
So moving into self-work and personal responsibility, you are guiding your spiritual path, is the transition that people make from that traditional religion into self-guided. And that's a scary transition, because it's eventually you're flying without a net.
And you're letting go of these old things that kept you safe at a point.
Right. So that's what's going on in your client's head when they're making that transition into deeper work, which the tarot can be a gateway into deeper healing work, deeper shadow work, deeper exploration of what was your responsibility in keeping those negative patterns in place that you may not have put in place, but you're keeping them in place.
Right. And I also want to say that this example right here of all of these suggestions that are coming in, that's kind of an example of what happens in Zen Academy and the kind of people that we have. Because a lot of the people that chimed in and kind of made their suggestions, they're all Zen heads.
So I'll give you another example of how sometimes I will use tarot.
Another tip.
Once you learn tarot and the structure, you don't have to be perfect at it, but once you kind of get it, you can, and I have done this before, and it is a blast. You can use oracle cards in a tarot structure. So I have used tarot cards, like I will put them in a traditional tarot card spread and read from them. So let's say you have a client who is working on some of those fears.
Right.
You can use all oracle cards in a traditional tarot spread. So the positions will tell you what the cards mean. Granted, they're going to be a little bit more airy and light and easy to digest. You might not get the devil card, right? Or something that potentially...
Well, you won't get the devil card if you're using oracle cards.
So you won't get something potentially sticky.
Super scary.
But it's a good way to help them see what their responsibility is in a session. So you can do a whole tarot card reading with oracle cards.
Right. And one of the most common and probably I'd say the most foundational is the standard spread.
Celtic Cross.
The Celtic Cross, the standard spread, because it's got its structure. It's got its places that mean everything, right? And you know what those places mean because you're familiar with that particular spread. So the cards kind of give you more volume. So it's like turning up the volume a little bit, but not too much. That's all straight up tarot.
So just to clarify, the Celtic Cross is a little more advanced spread.
Right.
In our beginning and most of our intermediate.
But it's a foundational spread.
Yes, it is. But my point is,
yes.
In our beginning and intermediate courses in Zen Academy, we teach several different versions of simple 1 to 3 card spreads that can get very complex. And then at the end of our intermediate, we throw the Celtic Cross at you and get into the deeper meanings of that. But on the flip side of that, you can use tarot cards like oracle cards.
And do a card pull of the day for you and for somebody else.
That kind of requires you to learn the tarot a little bit better. Or third choice, I'm giving you more tips than I planned today. Bonus. And you just get this.
Again, drop your emojis in the comments of what emoji fits these tips the best. And we're going to pick a winner here in just a moment to do a tarot card pull. Go.
So what I was going to say is you can, third option, shuffle. This is what I've done before too. Shuffle a deck of oracle cards and a deck of tarot cards together and then do your spread from there. That can get pretty wild and pretty fun.
It helps if they're similarly sized though.
Yeah, so not these. Well, it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. Just shuffle.
And that's the thing with any divination tool is that it's really dealer's choice.
Right.
Dealer's choice on meanings, dealer's choice on whatever. You can do a divination reading, a psychic reading with any tool. It's just that tarot has a particular structure that lends itself very well to doing readings.
To kind of wrap up that idea of you're moving from a system of they tell me what to do and that's the right way to do the spiritual thing into I'm self-directed. That's what we see and we have to break a lot of our students of. Is that while you do learn the structure and the rules and how to break the rules of the deck, a lot of students will stress and fret over, oh my gosh, did I do it right? Did I get the card?
Right,
did I do it
thing.
right? Did I do it right? Okay, once your cards hit the table, just go with it. And trust that it got there the right way rather than backtracking and going, okay, the client handed me the card deck this way. Is it in reverse now? Or did I do it wrong? Am I putting it out? You know what I mean?
Go with the flow and keep it moving because that's one of the keys is in any reading, if you start second guessing yourself, if you start doubting yourself, you're going to close down that channel of psychic information, of divination, and you're going to make it a lot harder on yourself. If you step more into the confidence and you go, bam, that's what that means. Even if you don't know what that means, that's what that means. Go with that first impulse, go with that first instinct and keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
You're being awfully dramatic with my cards.
I am. Don't touch your cards. I touched your cards, which is another thing.
Very dramatic.
Touching other people's decks.
Okay. Okay.
that we'll talk about
We're giving you 12 videos
in another,
right now.
in
That's
another
fine.
video.
So
Love that tip of mixing the tarot and the oracle
Yes.
cards. Good. Drop your emojis in the comments.
Oracle cards, just like tarot, offer guidance and clarity and a new perspective, and they often point something out that you already know, right? But you need a second set of eyes on, and that's what,
or validation,
right? Sometimes you need a sounding board to bounce off, what you think you know. And if you're not ready for tarot cards, it's okay. If your client's not ready for tarot cards, it's okay. There's a whole oracle world out there to explore and a lot of fun. But the good thing about oracle cards is they help you transition into self-responsibility for your path.
Yes.
That's all I want to say.
Yes.
What I want to say.
All right, go ahead and drop your emojis in the comments. What emoji do you think fits these tips the best, or emojis? You can do multiple, and drop them in the comments. I'm going to pick a winner here in just a moment. Sushi is not an oracle card. It is also not an emoji. Damn you, Nima.
Stop it. We had sushi 3 days ago. Every time Nima says sushi, David goes and buys sushi. That's okay, though. I like sushi.
I love sushi. I really do. Okay, drop your tips in the comments, and we'll pick a winner here in just a moment. What tip fits these emojis best? What emojis fit these tips the best? Also, drop your tip in the comments. What is your favorite tarot tip or your favorite oracle tip? Boom, drop it in the comments.
Waiting.
And Tina says, I'm new to this game, so I'm going to, with a cat in a box, chill with cat. Cat in boxes are never wrong. No, they never are. Cats rock. Oh, Lauren, of course, dropped the sushi emoji. All right, and today's winner is, okay, come on, keep it going.
Shuffling away.
You just keep shuffling. I'll pick it in a minute. I'll pick it in a minute. Pick it in a minute. Okay, countdown. 3, 2, and 1. This one is going out to Lauren Eaton because she dropped the sushi emoji. Just saying, Lauren, you've won. Sushi always trumps any other card.
Now you're obligated to pick whoever drops the sushi emoji. What are you doing?
No, not every time. I'm
I
just saying this particular time she wins.
David obviously had way too much rope this morning. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle the cards 3 times, and I'm going to pick for. You said Lauren, right?
Lauren, yes, this is for Lauren.
Oh my god.
I love Shay's little ghosty though.
God, I can't. I don't.
Okay, so we're actually going to do 2 readings. It's going to be Lauren and Shay.
Okay, because sushi does not have anything to do with these. You're just like, I'm going to pick the sushi emoji. You know how to work it. Okay, now you guys know the secret.
The sushi secret.
So here's what
All
I
right,
picked
Lauren.
for you. I picked the 6 of Wands, which is upright. Okay, reverse, it has a different meaning, but it came out upright. As soon as it focuses, it'd be great. The 6 of Wands is a joyful, beautiful card, and it's basically telling you tarot is either going to tell you this is what's happening in your life, or here's what you need to do. And since this is a 1-card pull, you decide. Okay, so the 6 of Wands is telling you that you have conquered something, and there is a reason to celebrate with your people. It's a little bit different than the 3 of Cups. The 6 of Wands is I think you might have gone through a little bit of a harder struggle to get there. It's sort of about you're the conquering hero, or heroine in your case, but it is about riding into the square as the conquering hero, and everybody's like, yay.
Right.
So whatever it is for you, it's time to celebrate. It's time to
get that sushi,
knock back some pints of ale with your
sake,
with your crew. It's time to celebrate your victory. So this is victory, where the 3 of Cups celebration is about, yay, we finished the project, we can go and have a party. This is about, oh, we conquered. So either have faith that whatever you're moving through, you're going to be victorious, and or fucking celebrate.
Yes. And Medium Star says, and this is a great tip, she says, pay attention when they do readings, because some of these messages apply to us.
Yes.
And that's the great thing about any divination, is that because a reading is given, just because a reading is given, it may very well have things that apply to you in your life. So while we're doing a reading for Lauren, this reading can also apply to any of you. So if it resonates, rock with it, roll with it.
And to be honest, that's sort of my intention.
Roll with it, lean with it. Oh,
David's really demandy today. He's
demandy.
He's being extra David today. So that is kind of my intention when I pull these cards, is that it will be kind of universal. But that for me feels like for you, Lauren, what's going on? Who is my
next is Shay. All right, Shay, you are the second place winner because we're picking two because of that little
David is
where'd that one go?
David is extra today.
I'm super extra today. So Shay, this is for you.
He forgot his Ritalin this morning.
What?
He doesn't take Ritalin. I'm just kidding.
Genevieve says, love you too. Awesome. Love you too. Also, witty whack.
Okay. So Shay, I got for you the 3 of Wands in reverse. Okay, guys, for those of you just tuning in, reverse cards are not a negative thing.
Right.
The 3 of Wands upright for me is, it's about domination, world domination. The thing that you're passionate about, your business, your enterprise is moving out into the world. You're sort of master of your kingdom. Reverse, I'm just going to go with my kind of an obvious, is that there's a little bit of a slowdown with what you're creating. But to me, it means take a little bit more time and dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yeah. And that oddly goes with the other oracle cards, the beginning and the ending oracle cards that we had picked earlier. So to me, it feels like you're in a transition between what you were doing before and what you want to be doing, what you want to step into, your new evolution, probably around creation, manifestation, and building something.
So what I feel like this is, I'm sensing is that the form of your craft, there's a little bit of like, let's slow it down to go bigger. So it's kind of a compressing a little bit, rethinking, polishing, releasing some things that didn't work the way you wanted, that don't work the way you want in this current time, and updating. So it's time to retool the machinery of your craft a little bit. It's not necessarily changing gears completely into a whole new world. It's about recraft to stop. He's going Aladdin right now in his head.
Okay.
So it's about recrafting the workings of the craft that you have, updating, moving them into the new phase of your life. So that's why it's moving a little bit slower into the world right now, but it's necessary. Don't be afraid to take the time to do it right. That's the hit I'm getting from this. Take the time, do it right, and then it will
take the time,
move
do it right
into.
You can do
okay, baby. I used to actually sing that in Vegas.
Yeah.
So you can expand. If you take the time, you can expand faster into the world when it turns upright, because the 3 of Wands is like, boom, we're growing, we're scaling. Okay.
Yep. All right. Shay says, yes, spot on. And Lauren says, thank you guys. Doom, 3 of them, because 3 is such a wonderful number. So what? 3.
He's hyped up today. I'm going to probably switch half the coffee over to decaf next time.
All right. So if you are a weirdo and you're looking for those other weirdos that resonate with you, we want to take a moment to quickly tell you about that offer to join our online community where our Zen heads hang out. Some of you are here, and drop it in the comments. Let everybody know what you love the most about Zen Academy. This is the place where our Zen heads hang out and where we, as of a couple years ago, teach all of our courses, including our comprehensive tarot course. And some of those courses are only available exclusively to Zen Ed members, like our advanced tarot course.
Our advanced and intermediate tarot courses,
Yes.
we only teach in Zen Ed Academy. But Zen Ed Academy was an idea that grew from our love of teaching workshops in Las Vegas since 2008. We wanted to go bigger and decided to create something online and global. It's funny because we get calls sometimes, when are you guys going to do workshops in person again? Or like, it's not because of COVID. It's not because of COVID.
Oh.
It's not because of COVID. It's because we have been making this move into just teaching online for about 3 or 4 years now.
Right.
So
now social distancing doesn't mean that we have to be disconnected. And like Heather said, it's not because of COVID. It's not because of a lockdown. It's not because of any of that. It's because this is the direction we've already been heading way before everybody started freaking out and doing everything online because they had to.
We were
already headed that direction. This is how we can actually use technology to come together and to be supported. And that also reminds me of Genevieve's question or comment here. It says, the ladies the other day, and she's talking about Zen-Ed members, the ladies the other day helped me move through my fear of the tarot. And I purchased the suggested tarot deck, the Rider-Waite deck, and that should be arriving tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, weirdest here is the best. Oh, you guys are awesome. All right. So yeah, this is the way that we can use technology to come together, to be supported, and to really, really, really help people to step into their strength and their own power.
So we opened this crazy online school about 2017 in our beta test version, where now we have a tribe of powerhouse students from around the globe who connect, learn, and improve their skills 24 hours a day.
7 days a week, 365 and a quarter days a year. Can't forget the quarter.
Zen-Ed Academy is a different kind of healing center that fits in the palm of your hand.
And it didn't just happen overnight. We've actually been putting all of our education, our experience, and our good mojo into creating a safe space that delivers what has been missing from the spiritual industry for decades.
Like without all the fluff, the nonsense, and the unicorn farts, and some of that negative shit that comes along with, unfortunately, that some of us can do without.
Absolutely. Those unicorn farts, let me tell you, it'll clear out a room. Anyway, it's not just some pop-up class that is gone when it's done.
Like learn to make a crystal grid or stuff you can just grab for free on the internet, but meaningful courses with well-researched information. You can tell we're a little bit nerdy, not just the same copy and paste stuff that is pretty much everywhere you search.
Yep. And if you want in, we made it easy to access not just one class, but over 21 and growing seriously deep PhD-backed courses to binge on to your heart's content. And JC says, I'm a new member and I am blown away by the amount of knowledge shared in the courses. It's the most valuable education I have ever had. And I love the community they have created too. I feel home.
Yeah, because we don't play. We don't really put up with shenanigans. If there are shenanigans. Well, there's good shenanigans.
There's good shenanigans. And then Shay says, so much wisdom. I'm always blown away by Heather and David's knowledge. Oh, you guys are awesome. So again, you can binge on all of these courses to your heart's content at your own time, at your own pace.
Plus all the lifetime replays.
Yep. Since you guys have watched this far, be sure to check out the goodies we've got for you. There's a link in the description below if you like this video.
Hit the like button.
Hit it hard. If you want to see more videos like this,
be sure to subscribe
and spank that damn bell to turn notifications on.
So you're the first to know
when we drop that new video.
He is up to 11 today.
12
Oh
today.
my God, or go live.
And we know that time is a valuable and precious resource. It's one of the most valuable things in the entire world, in the entire universe. And I want to thank you guys for spending that time with us, leveling up your life, leveling up your skills, leveling up your mind, and taking everything to a whole new level. That is what we honor and appreciate even more. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out these videos over here and over here.
They're actually over here.
And over here.
They're over there.
They're kind of right in our faces. Anyway, check out those videos and we will see you in the next video.
We'll see you soon.